You're listening to a podcast developed and produced by the Association of Asian Pacific Community Health Organizations, AAPCHO. To learn about AAPCHO, its members, or the principles and values that have guided this organization's work for more than 20 years, please visit www.aapcho.org.
A Call to Action is AAPCHO's latest podcast series commemorating advocacy efforts during World Hepatitis Day on May 19, 2010 in Washington, D.C. World Hepatitis Day aims to raise awareness of hepatitis B and hepatitis C to prevent new infections and to deliver real improvements in health outcomes for people living with these chronic diseases. Corinna Dan, AAPCHO's Hepatitis B Policy Fellow, speaks with Beverly Quintana, AAPCHO's Communications Assistant, discussing the priorities for hepatitis advocacy and why it's important for organizations and individuals to get involved.
My name is Corinna Dan. I'm a public health nurse, and I'm the Hepatitis B Policy Fellow at AAPCHO.
So, Corinna, what are the priorities for Hep B advocacy right now?
Well, we really have 4 priorities for hepatitis B advocacy, and we need better community engagement and participation. To grow our base of support, we need to cultivate champions on Capitol Hill. So get legislators, members of Congress and senators educated about hepatitis B. We need to increase funding for public health programs and for community programs so that we have enough money to test people, get them vaccinated, and get them referred into care so that they can get treatment if needed. And we need to focus on passing H.R. 3974, which is the Viral Hepatitis and Liver Cancer Prevention and Control Act of 2009. That piece of legislation amends the Public Health Service Act to improve what's in there already about viral hepatitis. And the fact is that right now they have only about 2 lines.
Why do you think it's important for grassroots organizations and individuals to get involved in these efforts?
I've done a lot of visits over the past 2 or 3 years, and there is very little knowledge or awareness about hepatitis B or C on Capitol Hill, and so they don't vote for those bills. And when we get the grassroots people calling their legislators, visiting in district, educating staff and members about hepatitis and the real problems that they're facing, that's when they start to pay attention.
What do you think are the other priorities for the rest of the year?
So it's May, Hepatitis Awareness Month, and we want our community organizations and patients to continue to call their senators and their representative to sign on to co-sponsor the World Hepatitis Day and the Hepatitis Month resolutions. The bill has already been introduced in the House, and we need additional co-sponsors. We currently have 37 co-sponsors for the H.R. 3974, but we want 100 co-sponsors, so we have a lot of work to do. And we anticipate that there will be a Senate bill soon, and when that comes out, we will have another push for getting Senate co-sponsors on.
So what was your overall impression of the visits today and the rally yesterday?
I think that they were great community mobilization efforts. It is so important for people to be engaged with their offices, to build those relationships, and to get used to talking to legislators and their staff about hepatitis. So just taking that first step, visiting the Capitol, visiting the office. I think a lot of people had the opportunity to do that this year for World Hepatitis Day. Had about 300 people at the first ever World Hepatitis Day rally. I think we raised awareness by bringing together a large group of people, and our champions that came to the rally, Congressman Mike Honda, Congressman Bill Cassidy, and Congressman Charlie Dent. I was touched when Congressman Cassidy, who is a hepatologist, he got choked up when he was speaking because he saw a bigger group of people than he ever imagined. We're serious, and we're growing, and we're organizing, and we're going to get there.
Well, thank you, Corinna. Do you have any other final words for people out there that want to know how to get more involved with the efforts?
We put together a hepatitis B policy brief, which is available on our website. We also, occasionally will send out action alerts. I would say the most important thing is to recognize that you have a problem. Think about how to tell your personal story to your legislators so that they know how important it is that they co-sponsor the resolution and sign on to the bill. And this is a process. It's a long process. We have more champions now than we ever have, but we need to continue that work.
This podcast was brought to you by AAPCHO. Please join the conversation on our Facebook fan page at facebook.apcho.org and tune in for our next podcast at www.aapcho.org.